Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good day.
Welcome to another AI pattern recognition deep dive.
We cut through the noise, get you the key ideas shaping things. And today, wow, we're diving headfirst into something that sounds like, well, the future. But it's actually being built right now. Artificial intelligence specifically designed to understand, maybe even foster, our deepest human need: social connection. This isn't just another app, folks. It feels like one of the most ambitious, maybe even consequential tech projects happening.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And the key thing really isn't AI replacing us, replacing connection. It's about building this incredibly sophisticated cognitive architecture.
Cognitive architect.
Think of it like the AI's whole mental setup, its framework, that's
Right.
specifically engineered to process to really get human interaction, the goal, enhancing our well-being. It's AI built to understand us.
Okay, let's unpack that. Our mission for you today, a shortcut, get you well informed on this social connection AI, how it's built, from the nuts and bolts up, how it might actually touch our daily lives. And the big one, the crucial ethical choices we need to make. We've dug up some surprising facts, too. Might change how you think about AI and, well, relationships. So right at the core, this AI needs to see us, right? Understand our interactions, which are messy. How does it even begin to make sense of all the signals we're constantly throwing out?
Right, it boils down to something we call the engine of insight, basically AI pattern recognition. It's like a meticulous four-stage process. Starts with data collection.
Yeah, gathering the info.
Exactly, loads of it. The text you type messages, social media, the sound of your voice, those auditory nuances, visual stuff, images, video, even time series data from, say, your smartwatch, heart rate, sleep patterns.
Wow, okay, so it's hoovering up everything. But that's just raw data, isn't it? Like, how does it become useful?
Good question. That's stage 2. Feature extraction. This is where the real kind of art comes in. Distillation. Turning that messy, raw stuff into quantifiable features the machine can actually work with.
Examples.
Sure. From text. It might count words like alone, stressed, or figure out the sentiment, the feeling behind the words. Audio. It looks at prosody, the rhythm, the intonation of your speech. Often tells you more than the words themselves.
Huh.
Visually, yeah, facial expressions, posture, gestures. And from wearables, those time series things, trends. Changes in your heart rate over time, your sleep getting worse, maybe how often you talk to certain people.
Okay, wait, here's something surprising then. What features you choose to pull out?
Yeah.
It's not just technical. That defines how the AI understands connection, doesn't it? Is it just counting friends? Or is it trying to see, like, emotional back and forth in chats? That feels huge. How a machine defines connection.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That feature extraction design. It's not neutral at all. Frankly, a deeply philosophical choice, ethical even. It sets up the AI's whole ontology of connection, its understanding of what connection is. You focus on easy numbers, follower counts, you get a shallow view, focus on deeper stuff, richer understanding.
Right.
So after feature extraction, stage 3 is pattern detection. The AI uses algorithms, finds clusters, groups of users acting similarly, or sequences, like maybe social interaction drops off before someone reports feeling depressed. And the last stage, classification and decision-making. Putting beta into buckets. Classifying a text as lonely, a voice tone as stressed, maybe flagging a social network as looking fragile.
I follow that. Collect, distill, find patterns, label patterns.
Yeah.
Okay, but how does it learn to spot lonely or stressed?
Primarily 2 ways. First is supervised learning. You train it on huge data sets already labeled by humans. Like you feed it thousands of texts that psychologists have already marked as expressing social anxiety. The AI learns what features go with that label. It's like learning with an answer key. Then there's unsupervised learning. This is more exploratory. You give it unlabeled data, tell it, find interesting structures. It might look at millions of communication logs and, on its own, identify social archetypes. Like, oh, these people are hub connectors, these seem more isolated, without being told to look for those specific types.
And it's not just about seeing what is.
Right.
It's trying to anticipate, be proactive.
Exactly. That's the predictive core. Using models to forecast things. Maybe predicting your likely loneliness score next week based on recent chats. Or predicting a category, like classifying you as high risk for social isolation next month. This lets the AI step in early, offer support before things get critical.
That's powerful stuff. But, our lives change constantly. We're dynamic. A fixed AI, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
How does this social connection AI keep up? Adapt to my specific life, not just general trends.
Right. And that's crucial. It's the adaptive loop.
Ah,
Real-time learning, personalization. These systems aren't just trained once and locked. They're built to evolve. They constantly update their internal understanding as new data comes in, refining how they see you. The key is learning what's normal for one specific person.
Ah, the individual baseline.
Exactly, so it can then spot meaningful deviations from that personal norm.
Give us a concrete example. How does this real-time learning actually play out?
Okay, think about personalized education. An AI tutor
Hmm.
watches how you learn. Are you visual, auditory? It sees your quiz scores, how you interact with videos versus text, where you get stuck. If it figures out you're a visual learner struggling with, say, fractions, boom. It offers an animated video, not another page of text. It adapts the curriculum to you constantly.
Makes
Or dynamic health monitoring. Your wearable tracks your heart rate, sleep, activity. The AI learns your unique rhythms, what's normal for you. Then it can spot subtle but maybe critical changes, a sudden weird heart rhythm, sleep quality slowly degrading over months, things a doctor might miss until they become obvious. It shifts healthcare from reactive to proactive.
Definitely see the benefit. But it sparks a question for me. If it's always adapting to me, couldn't it just like reinforce my bubble,
Yeah.
my biases, instead of maybe showing me something new? And if it's always changing, how do we trust it? How do you even regulate that?
That's the nail on the head. It's the personalization stability dilemma. You want it super personalized, adapting fast. But for safety, fairness, compliance, it needs some stability, predictability. The answer isn't picking one. It's likely a hybrid architecture.
Hybrid.
Yeah, imagine a stable, ethical core. Non-negotiable safety rules, core values. Baked in, can't be changed easily. Then, layered on top, a bounded personalization layer. This part can adapt and learn, but only within strict guardrails set by that ethical core.
Okay, so boundaries. But still, it needs to not just work. We need to understand why it's doing what it's doing, especially with something so personal. Which brings us to this idea of the glass box imperative, right? Explainable AI, XAI, are right to explanation.
Absolutely critical. With a social connection AI, trust is everything. If its reasoning is just a mysterious black box, people won't accept it. XAI tries to make that decision-making transparent. Now, there's a spectrum. Some models are simple, inherently understandable glass boxes like basic decision trees. You can see the IF then rules. But the powerful stuff, the deep neural networks likely driving this, millions of connections, not intuitive at all. Those are black boxes. So for those, we need post hoc explanations techniques applied after the model makes a decision to explain that specific decision.
So how do you make a super complex black box decision make sense to, well, me, or anyone who isn't an AI researcher? What are the tricks?
Yeah, the focus shouldn't be on the jargon, the acronyms. It's about the function. So for these complex AIs, we use methods that can, say, highlight the exact words in your message, like feeling down lately, that made the AI suggest you call a friend.
Ah, okay. Pinpointing the trigger.
Exactly. Or it might show you which factors, maybe decreased communication frequency, contributed most to flagging you as potentially at risk for isolation.
Yeah.
It's about explaining why this specific action was taken, not trying to explain the whole complex engine at once. And beyond just pinpointing, visualization helps a lot. Simple charts, dashboards, turning logic into stories you can grasp. And really importantly, conversational explanations. The AI should let you ask, why did you suggest that? What data led to this? Maybe it even asks you, I noticed your mood seems to lift after calls longer than 15 minutes. Does that sound right to you? That builds trust, teaches you about its logic, and lets you correct it. It becomes this kind of co-evolutionary relationship.
Okay, so it sees, it learns, adapts, explains, but what's the ultimate point? What's it for in our social lives?
Well, first, before it can really help connect, it needs an empathy engine. This is effective computing, building machines that understand emotion. Humans show emotion in so many ways, right? Words, tone, face. So a good AI needs multimodal emotion recognition. It fuses text, voice, visual cues, gets a much more accurate read than just looking at one channel. It's trying to get the whole picture.
And it can predict our behavior, too. You mentioned that. That sounds
Yeah.
pretty advanced. Maybe a bit unsettling.
It is advanced. But think about it. For a large language model to generate text that sounds convincingly human, to predict the next word a human might say, it has to, in some sense, build a working model of how humans think, feel, express themselves, even if it's just a complex statistical pattern-matching exercise. Natural language processing, NLP, can already spot subtle language patterns linked to loneliness, depression, anxiety, often before we even consciously register it.
Okay, what about this affective mirror idea? The AI reflecting your emotions back at you. Sounds nice, like validation. It gets me.
Mhm.
But what's the downside if I'm feeling low and the AI just mirrors that sadness? Could that just dig me deeper into the hole?
You've hit a really crucial point. Validation is powerful. Feeling seen, we crave that. But yeah, without very careful design, you risk creating a dangerous emotional feedback loop, amplifying negative states. So the AI can't just be a passive mirror, it needs to be smarter. It has to integrate actual psychological principles of emotional regulation, knowing when to just validate and say, yeah, that sounds tough, and when to gently reframe or offer a different perspective, guide you towards balance.
So pulling this together, what's the end game here?
Yeah.
Is this AI meant to be like an AI friend, a replacement for people? Something totally different. Feels like a massive fork in the road.
It absolutely is a critical design choice, this fork in the road for social connection AI. Path 1, AI as a substitute. This is often the commercial angle, right? AI companion apps. The risks here are pretty significant. Emotional dependency is a big one. You get used to this perfect, agreeable AI.
And real people seem difficult.
Exactly. You lose practice in the skills needed for real relationships. Patience, compromise, handling discomfort. Those skills atrophy. Plus, it can set up unrealistic expectations. Your human partner will never be as flawlessly supportive 24/7 as a trained AI. And honestly, there are serious safety and mental health risks we're already seeing with some commercial chatbots, especially for younger users.
Okay, that path sounds worrying. What's the alternative? The more promising direction?
That's AI as a facilitator. This feels much more responsible, more beneficial. Here, the AI isn't the replacement, it's a social capital catalyst.
Social capital catalyst, okay.
It uses tools like social network analysis to actually map out your relationships. Who are your strong ties, weak ties? Where are the gaps? It becomes a kind of social co-pilot, gently nudging you. Hey, you and Sarah both like hiking, maybe connect, or you haven't chatted with David in a while. Think of it as a serendipity engine. Maybe it discreetly lets you know a valuable contact you haven't seen in ages is at the same conference, creating chances for real-world meetups.
That feels different. More outward looking.
Completely. And it includes novel tools, too, like pro-social robots, but not for companionship. Maybe a robot that initiates a simple game in a nursing home, getting residents interacting with each other. Or emotionally intelligent chatbots, but designed specifically for practicing social skills. A safe place to rehearse difficult conversations.
So it boils down to this fundamental design choice then. Are you building a social capital catalyst or a parasocial crutch? How do we make sure it's the catalyst?
That dichotomy really is the core issue for responsible design. An AI optimized purely for time spent in the app, that's your parasocial crutch. It wants to displace real connection. A responsible social connection AI must be designed as a social capital catalyst. Its main goal, its objective function, has to prioritize real-world social well-being. Success isn't measured by engagement metrics, but by, say, increased self-reported sense of belonging or documented increases in real-world interactions. It's a vital distinction.
And this AI isn't just walled off in your social life app, is it? You're saying it connects across everything.
Ideally, yes. We're talking horizontal integration across different parts of your life. In education, sure, it's a tutor, but it also fosters social-emotional learning, connects students for group work. In health, it links your wearable data sleep, heart rate with social patterns from your calendar or messages. It analyzes health determinants in your medical records, suggests support groups. For work, it acts like a career strategist, helps you build professional networks intelligently. Even politics and civic life, helping you understand complex issues, fact-check AI-generated campaign stuff, maybe connect with local community groups working on things you care about. It's about seeing the whole person, understanding how all these life domains connect.
That's a truly transformative vision. Looking ahead, what kinds of new tools or innovations might we actually see emerge from this?
Well, I think we'll see a definite shift towards tech that pushes us towards each other, not away. Pro-social robotics is one area. Robots designed specifically to catalyze human-to-human interaction. The nursing home game initiator is one example. Not the focus, but the facilitator. Ambient connection platforms. Your smart home evolves into a connected home. Subtle prompts. Hey, it's sunny out. The park nearby has that craft fair today. Want details? Gentle nudges into the world. And that serendipity engine idea will get more sophisticated, moving beyond just apps. Maybe your calendar and location data discreetly flag when a valuable but distant connection happens to be in the same building, suggesting you grab coffee, creating beneficial, unplanned, real-world encounters.
That requires a lot of trust, but I see the potential. What about jobs? This feels like it needs a whole new set of skills to manage.
Oh, absolutely. Managing AI this intimate and complex will definitely create new career paths. We'll need AI interaction ethicists, people specifically trained to audit these algorithms for bias, ensure they align with our values, check for unintended consequences, social capital strategists, professionals working with cities, maybe companies, using these AI tools strategically to build community connection, fight collective loneliness on a macro scale, ex-AI communication specialists, translators, essentially, taking the complex outputs of explainable AI and turning them into narratives normal people can understand, using those visualizations and conversational tools we talked about, and AI persona trainers, people who fine-tune the AI's language, its interaction style, making sure it's culturally sensitive, genuinely empathetic, supportive, and crucially, free from harmful stereotypes.
Okay, so the potential is huge, the tools are evolving, new roles are emerging, but with this kind of intimate access, this power to shape our social lives, responsibility, ethics, governance, they're not just important, they're paramount.
Couldn't agree more. It's non-negotiable. Any framework has to stand on core principles: fairness, transparency, accountability, privacy, security. Basic pillars. And a massive challenge within that is algorithmic bias. It's a huge issue.
How's that creep in?
AI learns from data. If the data reflects historical biases, racism, sexism, ageism, the AI doesn't just learn them, it often amplifies them because it finds those patterns and optimizes for them. We see it already: biased outcomes in healthcare AI, sexist results in hiring algorithms, skewed content recommendations. With social connection AI, the potential for harm from bias is enormous. So we need robust governance, probably a tiered governance model. Rules at the organizational level, national laws like Europe's GDPR setting standards for privacy and transparency, and international cooperation, because this tech doesn't respect borders. But beyond rules, the design philosophy matters: human-centric, community-centered design. And this brings us back to maybe the most critical idea for governance: governing the objective function.
All right, you mentioned that. Governing the objective function, it sounds really fundamental. Regulating the AI's core purpose. Why is that so critical here?
It's everything. It's the future of responsible AI governance, I believe. You're regulating the AI's intent. Think about it. An AI whose core objective is set to maximize daily user engagement time. What will it do? It'll do anything to keep you scrolling, clicking, interacting with it.
A parasocial crutch.
Exactly. Now imagine an AI whose objective function is increase users' self-reported sense of belonging and number of real-world social interactions. That AI will behave completely differently. It will actively encourage you to put the phone down, to meet up with people, to join groups. It's designed to be the social capital catalyst, how we define, and crucially, how we regulate that fundamental goal, that objective function, that will determine whether this tech genuinely helps humanity or just exploits our need for connection for profit. It's the single most important design and governance choice we face.
Wow. Okay, so as we wrap this deep dive up, it really feels like the potential here isn't just, augmenting our social lives. It's something deeper. You use the word symbiosis, humans and AI learning from each other, maybe improving each other.
I think that's the hope. And look, the huge demand we see for AI companions, even the flawed ones, while we noted the risks, we should also see it as a powerful signal. It's signaling a massive unmet human need for connection in our modern world, which can often feel quite isolating. So the real investment shouldn't just be in fancier AI. It needs to be in our relational infrastructure, designing our cities, our workplaces, our digital spaces, and our physical spaces to actually nurture genuine human connection. The AI then becomes this incredibly powerful instrument, but its purpose should be to nudge us out of our screens, back into the richness of the real world, not pull us deeper in. It's about designing a future where this intelligence doesn't replace our humanity, but helps us rediscover and deepen it.
A really profound thought to end on. Something for all of us to consider as this technology continues to evolve. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the complex world of social connection AI. We really hope this gives you food for thought, encourages you to think about how you can engage with these powerful tools responsibly. Until next time on The Deep Dive, stay curious.
Thank you for tuning in with us.
Something to think about it for all of us.
This is DigitView.